Your wish has been granted.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of 3 Wishes Later, now positioned on Friday. So good morning and happy Friday to everybody. Hope you had a great week. I hope you two had a great week. Logan and Slug, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing amazing, man. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. It's a little bit jarring to have this out on a Friday versus the Monday, so sorry everybody out there who was waiting patiently on Monday for the weekly podcast. But we figured with events and how they turn out, we want to be able to cover, like tournament events and like results and all that, like in a more relevant time. Because when I was waiting to talk about Dallas, it basically was like, it felt like a whole week and a half passed before I got to talk about it. And I just really wanted to talk about it the whole time. And people were asking questions and I had my whole retirement arc. So it is jarring, but I think it'll be for the better. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I do think it'll be for the better.
I definitely think it'll be for the better.
It'd be very better.
We have a lot of plans in motion too, where we're working on some special guests that will be very nice to have on there, so stay tuned. So one of the things that we really wanted to talk about with this podcast is some of the events that we're starting to try to push to help grow Slug's domain. Like, for example, I did the Friday night beatdown with the champ. I think I had a really good time with that, even though I was getting my ass beat all damn night. But that was mostly for my training with Belmont. But I also had a really good time just playing good, cool people. And let's be real. Playing 4 different ways of dealing with hand destruction was not fun, but it was fun. But I don't know if Austin or Logan, you got a chance to watch those or not, but it was kind of tragic.
Yes, those clips were very, very tragic. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, man.
Yeah, I only saw a little bit of you live, and that was it. And then when I got home, I saw you still on the Discord call recording, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't necessarily that bad, but it was bad enough to where having fun endgame was just not in the cards for me that night. Playing against I had 2 fairly winnable games, I think. Against Yellow Vegito, the new Vegito deck. I thought I could at least take a game off that, but I was also playing against Uga, and Uga does not play anything normal. So I was sitting there
shout
waiting
out my
for
boy
the weird.
Uga.
Yeah, and I was learning a lot about the deck and sort of realizing that I just did not have a good, I had too much defense, so I never saw any of my offensive tools, so I just couldn't push any kind of damage, and plus, I just don't seem to jive with the deck very well. I haven't been able to figure out the playstyle, so I am working on something new, potentially, because the booster box is coming up, and I want to, find a deck that I know that I can take comfortably, and I don't want to just, fall into my old habits of picking up a random deck with no practice and going to get shit on, because I do not want to ever go winless like that ever again.
Yeah, man. Also, for the people out there, I'm bringing back the Slug. I know you guys haven't seen me play it in a while, but I will be taking Slug to the booster box regional. So
you heard it here first.
I hope to see you guys there. I hope to play against you guys on webcam, and shouts out to my boy Slug.
Shouts out to Slug. You guys heard it here first. Austin is officially unretiring his yellow Slug deck that he is very dominant with. He could have taken Gogeta, which would have been fair, but I think that deck deserves one real run in a tournament. It's one thing to beat everybody up in Discord, but I really want him, not only for himself, but for me and the people, to see Yellow Slug truly top the charts, or at least try to.
I promise you, I'm gonna bring the pain.
Do last minute deck swap.
I ain't gonna. No. I can't disrespect my Slug like that, especially in the comfort of my own home. No.
And of course, another event that we got going on now that we're really trying to pick up is the Grand Slug Off. We tried to run it this past Sunday. I even made like a stream overlay for it. I was ready to commentate over some fantastic Dragon Ball games, but nobody showed up. We had 2 people sign up. One of them was Slug, but I think like he signed up for numbers purposes. But like ideally, I think it would be me and him commentating over you guys' games. And if we are able to get some actual attendance, I would love to be able to put pricing towards it. Like I have a bunch of random shit that I'll never use that I could literally, put out for pricing if people show up. But I'm not just gonna do that, preemptively just for 5 people to show up and then it's a 2-round event. I just don't want to do that, So if we can get regularly if you can give me 2 weeks of like anywhere between 6 to 8 people, then I will be willing to start putting up pricing.
That sounds like an awesome deal.
Because if anybody knows me, knows my history, I have deck cores for days. I have random ass cards that I shouldn't have bought, that I bought anyway because I had a random 3 a.m. deck profile idea that I end up never playing. So I just have a bunch of random shit that I could give away. I got, got promo cards. I mean, some of them are older, but pricing is pricing. Heck, I could even do the rabbit squirrel thing and start opening up these sleeves that everybody likes to use for Z-Deck. And I have some cool sleeves for that. But so that being said, you guys need to sign up for it. I know we do them on Sundays. It's about 1 p.m. is what we're shooting for. 1 p.m. Central time for me.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard. We have a really awesome community over here. We have a person named Amen, one of my mods. He hosts the Sunday locals for right now. He's the one that's managing like the announcements and all of that for the time being. He puts in a lot of effort and a lot of work to make sure that the community is always not at each other's throats, because we as Dragon Ball players are not the nicest people when it comes to talking about each other's deck profiles and each other's ideas towards what is the optimal way to play things and what's the best in the game at the moment. But he is an amazing person, and I hope that you guys come over and support us in any way that you can, whether it be spectating our locals or just participating in them. But yeah, come over to Slugs Domains Discord. We'll have the link in the description as we always do.
Absolutely. And we really want to try to grow, the Slugs Domain community. Eternal Dragon TCGs started because of that, because Austin and I and Logan and I, when all 3 of us got together to really make this channel. So if it wasn't for Slugs Domain, you wouldn't have Eternal Dragon TCGs, and this channel would not be regularly pumping out content for you guys. So we really want to grow this community out. We want to see a large activity there. I mean, we always have people in the chat talking about decks constantly. It's that same kind of like that salty Dragon Ball player vibe, but most of the time it's just usually in good spirits. But we all know how we are. We get real passionate about our deck profiles, and because this is an eternal format, ideas for days. People will disagree, agree to disagree, or disagree to disagree, whatever. But definitely come and hang out with us. At least just come say hi.
Yeah, of course. We got room for everybody.
Now, the biggest thing that we really wanted to talk about with this week is the question I posed to you, Austin, and to you, Logan, is based off the results that you have seen in the last couple of events, being Dallas, the recent California event, and then some of the EU events that have happened. Would you guys agree or disagree that this is the healthiest meta that we have ever had in Dragon Ball?
No, it's the grossest one out of them all. No, I'm just kidding.
It's the grossest?
No, this meta feels really, really good. Coming from I started playing like competitive Dragon Ball BT24, BT23, and the game ever since I've started in the competitive scene, at least, because I've played through like the SS4 Vegito meta, the Kid Ku meta that followed that right up, and then the U7 Vegeta meta, the U7 Vegeta meta that we just got out of. And like, I think where we're at right now is the most healthy state the game has ever seen, due to the fact that if you see the topping lists and what decks topped like top 16, the last like 2 to 3 events. It's so diverse. There's so many different decks up there, and I know there's a lot of people that are still like staying true to their roots and playing like what they know is good, but I see a lot of people branching out, you know, taking old decks, adding these new cards to them and succeeding with them in tournament. Like, I seen 2 people playing Gohanks in this last regional, the core TCG regional, and I was like, what the hell? People are still playing Gohanks? But then I remember it's always getting support. It's always getting support. So like, it really just, it feels like the best the game has been in a long time.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that. Like, the last time I think I've seen a meta like this, or just the availability of decks that can do well in events, I haven't seen anything like this since, I want to say, set 15ish. It was right after the first ever Dragon Ball Super Fest. It wasn't Card Fest. It was like I think it was like the preempt to that, because it was down in I think it was Dallas or it was Austin. I can't remember. It was the one time the last time I went or X7 with Wishmasu. You guys have heard that story. But shortly after that, like, it felt at the time, if I recall correctly, it felt like any deck could truly, you know, do well in these events. And so it is nice to get back to that, you know, and you know, I've been through my fair share of toxic metas. You know, I think we all remember that year of Red Gogeta and Red Sin that they just took forever to ban those cards. It was basically one of those two where you were playing original Gammas or where you just weren't doing anything at all, and that lasted for a whole entire year. I don't know what Bandai was waiting on to get rid of that, but, you know, rest in peace, that meta. But like we've been saying, you know, the myriad of decks that you could take out there to a regional, whether it be online or otherwise, is so vast. And I think that's what's going to be really cool to see for this upcoming nationals event in Fort Worth, is that there's going to be no new sets. So set BT29 is not going to be even out yet. It got pushed back to the January.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact day. So it's not going to be even around. And so it's going to be just everything that's been released up until BT28. So everyone's going to say that the format's going to be solved, but I disagree with that, because with the meta being so diverse and the availability of what you could do with decks, whether it be something from older sets or something from the current set, or just experimenting with different deck techs, you know, I don't think it's going to be solved at all. I think it's what's going to end up happening is that people are going to find a standard way of doing things, and that's what's going to make it look like a solved format. But I don't think it'll ever truly be solved. And I think like an example that we could think of for that is with Yu-Gi-Oh! With their different like formats, like Edison format, like the meta that was in Edison format during those times is entirely different than it is now. And that's due to the fact that people actually had time to truly experiment and truly see what the best decks are in those formats. And I think that's something that could happen in a format that we're in now, with it being so actual real amount of time for people to practice and try different stuff. But that's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Definitely let us know down in the comments below how you feel in that regard. Like, do you guys agree with us that it is a very good meta right now? What are your top decks? What are you even trying to play right now? That's what I really want to know. I want to know what the spicy techs are out there. So let us know down in the comments though.
And that's a great segue into our next subject, right?
Go ahead and lead us off there.
All right, so we are going to start doing a little segment at the end of each of our podcasts, and we're going to be calling it like the what do we want to call it, Brent? Like the community.
You know, I've been trying to figure that out this entire time since we talked about it. Like, I think to fit the Eternal Dragon theme, I think it'd be like something like state your wish or whatever. And what we're talking about is we want to have a chance for you guys in the audience to reach out to us three, and we can kind of respond to you. So we're looking at doing like a Q&A section, or responding to your hot takes, or whatever the we're feeling like. We're gonna put a channel in the Discord itself, and probably put a role down there, so we're not having to tag literally everybody. So people who are interested in actually being a part of it, we'll make like a role that you could assign to yourself, or we can assign to you. And when it comes time, when we're getting ready to record the podcast, excuse me.
Don't die on us.
I just swallowed wrong.
Jeez,
That's
man.
what she said.
That is what she said. Excuse me. But we'll put a ping out there, so when we're getting ready to record, we'll say, hey, what are questions that you have for the champ, that you have for Austin, or that you have for Logan, or we could put out one week could be, what is your hot take for Dragon Ball right now? And then it's just sort of us responding to you guys who support us, and then also responding to your horrible ass opinions. And I think I think that will be a truly fun thing for people to tune into.
I can't agree more. I can't wait to hear like Corey. Corey's got a lot of questions. I already know that. Shout out to my boy Corey. I can't wait to hear all your questions, buddy.
Oh, I can't wait either. I know he's got a pile of them ready to go.
Oh yeah, he's gonna ask me why I'm bad, why I play Slug because it's bad. So many questions along those lines, and I will answer them for you. I promise you.
It's either that, or he's gonna ask when is it his turn to be on the podcast.
You know what? You know what, buddy? If you come up with a good subject, I'll have you on the podcast.
Absolutely, and that goes out to really anybody. If someone has something that they really, really want to talk about, that we think that would be an interesting subject for 3 Wishes Later, we're more than welcome to have a member of the community come on, and we can just talk about whatever. It's just got to be relevant to Dragon Ball. That's all it really is.
Exactly.
And so definitely can't wait to hear from everybody once we get this thing going. So this just popped in my head for you three.
Yes.
What do you think is going to take nationals? Like, if you had to predict a deck to take nationals with what we know now, what do you think it's going to be?
All right. Yellow Lord Slug if I participate well in the booster box. I'm my mama. I'm my mama. I love my mama. I would not disappoint my mama. So like, I'm putting it here. I'm going to Nats with Slug if I place top 16 with Slug. Y'all better watch out.
So he is making a commitment live on air that if he does well with Yellow Lord Slug in the booster box online regional, that he is taking it all the way to nationals. A true final run. May not even be final, but a true run with Yellow Lord Slug. Like, not just beating up on locals. He not just beating up on Peter Dance with his own invoker card, but taking it to an event to clap some cheeks with Yellow Lord Slug.
Yes, sir.
I'm so stoked to hear that. I need you to do well, because I believe in you. I believe that you are the only person who can do that with that deck.
I have put a lot of time into the deck, and I'm here to show that the deck isn't just a joke. I feel like with how strong the meta currently is, with how aggro it is, the deck inherently has some weaknesses, it does, but I can also play around like its strengths and other people's weaknesses to just guarantee me a win in certain cases. Because let me know in the comments if you know what Lord Slug does.
He's gonna whip out his slug. Do you think you're gonna change your deck list at all?
It's definitely gonna be changed up slightly before I to just accommodate for what the current meta is right now. Like, I need to speed up the kill power, so I'll probably be adding the other 3-drop 15k combo Lord Slugs.
Nice. what about you, Logan? What do you think is going to take Nationals?
It's really difficult to tell because you have like 3 different decks, including Slug.
Wrong answer. Oh, wrong. Okay, right answer.
All right, but there's other decks too, like yellow UI, Gammas, and Vegeta that are still in the meta around here, even with yellow UI coming back to play. But honestly, that's like 3 to 4 decks right there. But mostly, I hope if Slug can make it all the way, then I would say Slug.
Yeah, let's go.
So Logan is a believer in the Slug.
Well, Logan's fought my Slug a lot.
You have definitely given him your Slug. Probably more times than he wants.
Too many times.
Well, when you have over like 4,000 games, I bet at this point with Slug, you're bound to just play against everybody a couple of times.
Absolutely. Now for the champs prediction. So I've been thinking about this a little bit, and historically speaking, including Worlds, there.
Wait! Before you give your answer, I apologize for interrupting.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you my real answer?
Oh, if that wasn't your real answer, then
I mean,
definitely give me your real
if I said if I participate well in the booster box, I'll go to Nats, and I'm gonna win. But if I don't, A21's definitely gonna win.
You think it'll win again?
I think it'll win again just because we're in a blue meta.
It's always creeps up during national season. Do you notice
It's because everybody starts playing blue right before Nats.
It's a sleeper.
And that's what I was getting. Like, historically speaking, there has never been like every deck that has won nationals and worlds has been blue and or yellow in some way, shape, or form, whether it be like blue green, blue yellow, mono blue, mono yellow. You know, like it's always had blue and or yellow in the deck list, and that's very telling to this game because that clearly means that blue and yellow are the best colors in the game, hands down.
Yes.
And it always seems like red or black could make a real run for it, especially like red. Like sometimes red will be doing really well, and then suddenly it just falls off the face of the earth, or it gets nerfed, or something happens to those colors. Like I think if Kid Ku never got nerfed, that was definitely a contender for nationals and potentially worlds this past year.
It wasn't even a contender. That shit would have won.
Probably so. And to speak to that strength is that we're seeing Red Kid Ku rise again, in the events. There's like been one Kid Ku player in like the top 16 in the last couple of events for some reason. But like it fell off the face of the earth and then it came back like a menace. So that just goes to show that deck is still extremely strong if it's able to do that. Or it's just a really good pilot. Who knows? That's what I like about this game is it like the best player of a deck can always do well in almost any meta. I wouldn't say almost any, but like almost any.
No, like A21 does good in any meta because what's the A21 player that's topped like a lot recently? It's like Nixu or something like that?
I don't know. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know what their name is.
He's an amazing player. I've seen him pilot that deck, and just the way that he gains control of the board state starting like turn 2 and turn 3, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. I think with the right player and with the new promos, even though the cost of one of them got totally cucked, I think Prismatics or Rainbow Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta could win nationals. Every time I see that deck in play, every time I play against it, it is doing the most shit ever, and I just never know what to do against it because like you guys seen my deck, the gameplay with me playing Belmont versus his Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. At one point, I just didn't know what to do anymore, other than trying to hide his stuff as much as I could. But the board stayed so wide, and you have every keyword known to man in the game in this deck that you're able to pay for with whatever card, and you're always either going even or plussing even depending on the effects that you have, that you're never going down in hand size. And then you already have the access to the most broken SCR in the game with the Gogeta SCR, or if you're super based, you're playing the Spirit Bomb Son Goku that just burns you for one for no reason. And so with a truly skilled Gogeta pilot, I could see them taking down Nationals with that. And I mean, I think it's deserved, but you know, it is Gogeta.
Also, free my boy 8-cost successor Gogeta Z Battle. He did nothing wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong yet.
I know, but he did nothing wrong. That's the whole thing. He needs to be free because I love him and he loves me.
It's got a beautiful artwork. It is a shame that it won't see really much play.
It'll see a lot of play in the energy zone as an energy marker.
Yeah. Speaking of Gogeta, so in my brain soup of trying to figure out what I was gonna play,
delicious.
I felt like I was probably gonna fall back and just like become a disciple of Rainbow Gogeta, and I had my Frieza Army healing pods came in the mail today. Finally, of a TCG player. I was like, damn,
dude, it's the Green Goblin calling you.
It's the Green Goblin. Well, with as bad as Belmont's been going for me, you know, I'm willing to pivot. So it's just, you know, I wanted to give that a real shot. I'm 1-7 with it, and I feel like I'm getting worse with it in some ways, because it's just, a lot of people are telling me it's pretty straightforward, but I can't figure it out for the life of me. Like, well, I did like a walkthrough game with Viryar, and like it seemed like it all made sense in the moment, but I was being walked through it. But then I get put in the game, and I feel like I'm not seeing anything that I'm supposed to see, or I'm just stupid. And so sometimes, and that this is a lesson that goes out to all of you. Sometimes a deck just doesn't work for you. You know, at least you put in the try, but you at least give it a shot. But if it doesn't work, don't force it, especially when you're a couple weeks out from an event. and that's kind of where I'm at with this. It's like, I think I'm gonna pivot and try a different deck. I have a build I came up with for White U7 Goku that I really want to try, because I think it's got some merit to it, but I got to give it a try. I know it's like the weak of the three, the weaker deck of the three, but there's some things about it that really speak to me, you know, in a way that I would like to be able to try. You know, I think I can appreciate the aggressive nature that it's trying to do, and getting giant swings out, you know, big ass double strikes for like 40, 50, 60k almost, because you're hiding and gaining the power on and adding it to, like, it's a cool deck, you know. I think you guys have all played against U7 White, or at least heard about it or seen about it. Damien put out a pretty good video about it, so shouts out to the lookout. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely go watch that, and kind of you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm excited to see everybody, you know, at the booster box event. You know, if you guys haven't already signed up, I don't think there's a cap, but there might be a cap. But I'd like to see just better attendance for Dragon Ball events in general. So, you know, you guys did me proud in Dallas. You know, you could do me proud on an online event. You don't even have to leave your house. You just got to pay $30. There's no reason why we can't have huge online events.
Yeah, let's crash those Discord servers. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
One last thing that I want to announce before we end off the episode. I'm not going to go into detail about it at all. I'm just going to say we are going to be having a very special guest attending us soon. So stay tuned for that.
I can't wait for that one. Well, with that being said, you know, this was a little bit of a shorter episode, guys, but because with the schedule change, with the way we're doing things, just the way that kind of landed. And let's be honest, it's been a little bit of a slow week for Dragon Ball. We haven't had a cheating allegation. We haven't had anything dramatic happen. But we still wanted to keep this rolling.
Damn it, guys. You guys get out there and cause some drama. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I need the tea. The tea. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, Eternal Dragon TCGs is here for you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Slug's domain.
Goodbye.
Peace.